Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. It is 12 minutes after 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on May 4th, 2025. Thanks for being here, everybody. Let us tap right in and see what storyline Spirit Divine would like to share with us. Oops. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. What storyline would you like to share with the collective, please, Spirit? Collective energy. All right, in the central energy, please, Spirit, what do we got in the central energy? The Knight of Pentacles in the upright. Putting in some hard work. Got your head down, working hard, trustworthy and reliable. My father said just earlier today, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. In the challenge position, we have an Eight of Swords. There could be some kind of a restriction. Feeling isolated. Feeling alone. Having some negative thoughts. In the subconscious, Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud. Somebody was working hard routinely with fraud and trickery, trying to betray somebody, and maybe now they've been restricted. In the recent past, we've got the Empress. Abundant, nurturing mother figure. And she'll bring flowers to your world. And lift you up. Intentions and expectations, Two of Cups. Marriage connection. Yeah. In the near future, justice. Justice is being served. The law of cause and effect. The lens is being looked through. The Lovers reverse. There's a detachment. Somebody's being detached from loving unions. tricksters. In the environment, we have the Hierophant. Could be the Most High, could be somebody with serious authority here regarding traditional values and such. In hopes and fears, King of Wands, natural leader, overcoming challenges. Outcome, please. Oh, the outcome. We've got Three of Wands. Moving forward. Making plans. Plans are in motion. You're maximizing your total potential. There's an enterprise. Could be an overseas enterprise, like an overseas enterprise. There's some sort of agreement. And then we've got somebody's whoever was bullying you, tricking you, trying to win at all costs, they have to accept loss. Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. Nurturing, supportive. It could be that there's two women in support of each other. It could be that the Divine Feminine has the purse strings as well as the love and everything needed to nurture. You know, we got some real jackwagons around here wanting to sell the commodity of the gnosis. And we've got the Devil here in a nightmare. They're having a nightmare. Why? Because you're getting a wish come true. Yeah. Okay. I've got the dryer going, so hopefully it doesn't buzz before the read is over, but if you hear the noise, that's what it is. Knight of Pentacles. Working routinely, hard work. Holding back. There's a need to be trustworthy and reliable. They should have expressed themselves better. There's a holding back. They're challenged by an Eight of Swords. Some victim mentality. Imprisonment. Like they could have lost the use of their sight and their hands. Like maybe they're unable to manifest something. Restriction. Oops. And we've got hope in the reverse. Somebody's out of hope. In the subconscious, they're thinking of betrayal and deception. Dishonesty and trickery. They were lying. They were lying. And they're in regret. They wish it had never happened. The Empress is here in their recent past. Mother, Divine Mother figure. Stepping into her destiny. Two of Cups here. Unified love, partnership, mutual attraction. Guilty? I feel pain from the damage I've caused. We need to get more clarification on that. We've got justice here, the law of cause and effect. Dishonesty. So justice is being served on dishonest folks. It could have something to do with those who were guilty of causing damage to Two of Cups unions. They were lying about it. They got into this connection, and now they're feeling the pain that they have caused to Two of Cups unions by lying. And now justice is being served, and they're getting kicked out of the opportunity to have those unions. They're not going to get that anymore. So, yeah, they're getting detached from the opportunity to have a love union. There's disagreement here. The Hierophant is in the environment. This could be the Most High or somebody very high up in authority. People are gossiping about it. It could be the divine, you know. And the King of Wands here, overcoming challenges. A visionary. And there's unfinished business here. We've got the Three of Wands here. You're moving forward. There's an enterprise. This is an overseas or perhaps even a worldwide expansion of something. Mended, the connection. So there's been a connection mended, fixed. Responsibilities for family. Responsibilities. Those who are responsible regarding families, those who love their family and care about the children, they're getting a new chapter. They're escaping this mess and they're getting a new chapter. And it's too late for anybody to take any action there because the truth has been revealed about this passion project. They sabotage themselves. And now they want forgiveness for this habitual pattern. The runner doesn't want to run from commitment anymore, but the secret is out. They're a reflection, daydreaming of being you. You are reunited together with your person, and it's an unexpected outcome. The prideful people are getting detached because they were chasing after your life, doing things in the shadows. Somebody wants to call and hear your voice. They're overwhelmed, stressed out, but they can't get into your space. They can't get into your space. You're irreplaceable, and the way you love can't be matched. They're not, and they're reminiscing about how fun it was to hurt you. It was real fun. Or it could be that maybe somebody is remembering how fun it is to be with you in a soul contract. Somebody's broken and shattered because they're not able to separate you from your love. And they're feeling that they're hurting from the damage that they have caused. Their values were all about money, and they went after somebody who actually loves themselves and still trying to heal. These ones, there's an understanding of the neglect that they have been putting out to you, out to the world, and they're being found unworthy by this Hierophant. They did not appreciate your beauty, and now they're going to get reciprocity for what they gave you, and you're going to get reciprocity for your love. The way you love can't be matched. They weren't happy with the way things were going, and they're confused about this soul tie. They made mistakes, and they miss their opportunity. These third-party enemies, they don't know what to do because they're feeling your absence. So somebody was hard at work, trying to get financial growth. They're being held back, or they're holding back. They've got, their cup is empty. Whatever they were doing on a routine, it didn't satisfy what they were after. They're in an Eight of Swords energy, and they have no hope. So they've got victim mentality, and they have no hope. Secrets. They were lying. They were keeping secrets. They weren't telling the truth. Seven of Swords. Trickery and fraud. They're in regret. They wish it had never happened. They were lying on this Empress. Just another notch on the headboard. So yeah, passion project. These people were just sleeping around. Actions speak the loudest. The Empress is entering into her destiny, or has entered into it, because that's the recent past. And somebody's having anxiety over it. Whoever this is that was guilty of causing damage to Two of Cups unions, they're having anxiety because the Empress is stepping into her destiny. They want to end her lifetime story. They don't want her in this role. She's eligible, or what did they call it? I can't remember now. But she's been chosen. She's a chosen one. Look. So, yeah, somebody's been found guilty of causing damage to Two of Cups unions, and now they want to escape. Guilty of using love as an escape. Justice is being served on liars. The law of the cause and effect, they're actually feeling it now. Justice is being served. Oh gosh, we got guilty again. So they're being separated. They can't get into these unions. They were just hurting people for profit. It was just a good time, man. It wasn't love. And what they built on the energy and the essence of others that they were in contract with is crumbling. The Hierophant is here. Could be the Most High God. People are talking about it. They're gossiping. And we've got distant. Distant. So far away, physically and emotionally. King of Wands, overcoming challenges. There's unfinished business. We've got ruins. Things you know no longer need are falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. So, I don't know. It could be the Hierophant is bringing those who gossip a lot, spread rumors, you know, tell false stories about others and are entertained by it. They're being moved far, far away. King of Wands is clearing the path to make room for the love you deserve. There's an enterprise, an overseas enterprise, or some kind of an expansion, a preparation being made. You've mended the connection, a heart connection. The love is there. Love is there. Two hearts beat as one. And you've been hurt before, so it's hard for you to trust. Let someone in and love again. So yeah, there is a connection that has been mended, but you could be shy, you know. Maybe you've really been through the ringer with all of these lies, all of these people that were lying, maybe throughout your entire life, maybe throughout many lifetimes. They were using love as an escape route, causing damage to those people that they got into contract with under the lie that they actually cared. Playing games with love. They're feeling crushed right now by many flames that they have neglected. And they're in a crazy drama of a rabbit hole. This was a blind spot. They didn't think they'd ever see those flames again. But you're being fierce. There's a fierceness here. Bringing an end to this. And there's a long, long road before they find what they want. They're grieving about their needs being met. Tempted by the snake. Picking up the pieces in the dark side, drowning. They weren't willing to settle down or be responsible, and they're looking for an exit plan. They need to face it. They no longer have support because they broke all their promises. They're trying to reach out and connect with you, but love is eluding them because you're leaving. You're out of here, man. And they're unable to free themselves from this tangled mess. They want forgiveness for their childish behavior. They lost. They lost, and you were alone. You were alone against all these people, and you're freaking tired, and you deserve a break. You're a diamond. It's been a rough road for you. It's been very, very hard for you, but you came out shining like a diamond. And every facet of that diamond is shooting light out in a beautiful way. Let's see. Let's see what these cards have to say. So somebody was working on a routine basis, hard work for financial growth. They're being held back. They should have expressed themselves better. Their cup is empty. We've got harmony here. Their cup is empty because of your harmony, because of your balance. They're being restricted, or they feel like they're restricted. Because they've given up hope. They have no hope. They were keeping secrets, telling lies, and now we have new beginnings. So they're challenged by your new beginnings. Their cup is empty because you have inner harmony. You know, and some people may say that you have a monkey mind, but yep, there it goes. Sorry about that, guys. You know, you may ponder a lot of things, and there's some entities out there that refuse to even allow people to have a thought. It's really weird. But I met a woman there. She could not even think a thought to me or speak. It was wild. But because she presented herself to me, she was punished for even presenting herself. It was wild, man. So they were committing fraud, trying to get away with something tricky. They're in regret. They wish it had never happened. You were just another notch in the headboard. And you are whole. And you have divine support. They were treating you like you were just a fly-by-night floozy. And you have a harmony, divine support, and a sense of wholeness here. And they degraded you and chalked you up to being undesirable. Well, these people, a lot of them, you know, they got some serious issues, man. We've got the Empress here moving into her destiny, and somebody's having anxiety because they don't know what you're going to do. We've got acceptance. They're having anxiety because you were accepted. What did they call that? It starts with an E. Eligibility. Chosen. You've graduated. You're the Empress. You've been accepted into a new dimensional system, or perhaps for a new position, a role. We've got somebody's guilty of causing damage to Two of Cups marriage connections. They were using love as an escape route or as a way to get a financial growth. They might want to escape, or they're just guilty for using love as an escape. They're brutalizers to love. They never loved anybody. Spiritual practice. This was their practice. This is what they did. This is what they did. They could have done something with the spirit of those people that they got a connection with. They used love as an escape. I really think they did something with the spirit of the people that they formed contracts with. We've got justice, law of cause and effect, dishonesty, and guilty. They were lying and cheating on these people. Lying and cheating on people who actually loved them. There's an understanding here. All is seen. All is known. They're being... it looks to me like they're being detached from the opportunity to have a loving union. They're in disagreement. Whatever they build on the essence or the spirit energy of these people that they got contracts with, it's crumbling. It's all falling apart. And there is promise of the future. So whatever they built is crumbling, and that means there's promise for the future. The Hierophant is here. People are talking about it, or maybe he's sending people who were spreading lies about you are being moved to a distance. Far, far away they're going. Empowerment. Empowerment. So they're moving far away from you, and you're being empowered. King of Wands is here. Overcoming challenges. There's unfinished business here. The things you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love you deserve. He's out there doing stuff. Childlike expression and courage. Things that you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love you deserve. You are courageous and you have a beautiful childlike expression. And the divine, didn't they say if you got to have a heart of a child or the mind of a child or whatever in order to access the kingdom of heaven? You know, to be seen as innocent. Like a child. So there's moving forward. There may be something going on overseas regarding an enterprise. A connection has been mended, but you've been hurt before. So it's hard to trust, but it's time to let somebody in and love again. We've got a spiritual quest. It's time for a spiritual quest. And we've got be candid. Be candid. tell the truth, speak your mind, let it all be seen, the transparent, authentic you, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, be candid. We got fulfillment. There could be if you're candid, if you're authentic and transparent, it could be that there will be a decision made that you shall reach fulfillment, or maybe you will reach fulfillment because of this decision to be candid, to be authentic, and you will receive guidance for persevering through whatever it is that this drama is. And you've achieved something. There's an achievement. You have overcome something and you are relaxed now. You're embraced. Aww. You're embracing, maybe you're embracing concentration, clearing your energy. And there's a sense of belonging here. Whoever was driving you and your experiences, they need to surrender. They need to surrender. Because that ain't cool, man. That ain't cool. I'm going to get a few of these. So somebody was working routinely, trying to get a financial growth. They're being held back. Their cup is empty, and you are, because you're in harmony, you're in a state of harmony, inner balance. Somebody may be, I heard somebody earlier accusing someone of a monkey mind, and it could just be that you're turning the wheels, right? Considering this, all these lies. And, you know, you're not silent. You actually are an original bioform human processing unit. You're a transmitter receiver. You receive messages and you give messages. You're like the microphone of the divine. So whatever you're picking up in this atmosphere is being sent to the divine for what? For observation. And if there's anything, any messages that need to be presented to the public, then the divine speaks into your microphone and then you deliver the message. That's the way this works. And these people call it a monkey mind, because you are this transmitter receiver. You receive the messages of what's going on, and then the divine says, okay, here's what we do, right? And you're the messenger. And people don't like that. They want your mind to be still and silent. They don't like it when you do your job of this symbiosis with the divine. It's like, hey, Most High, I've got this going on and this going on. And then the Most High says, okay, here's your story. Here's what you're going to say. And that's it. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on with it. Bear it all. Tell it all. Speak it out. So, harmony. Yeah. So, look, they're empty. They could be, we got harmony here. It could be that they are having trouble quieting or maybe you quieted the anxiety monster. You alchemized your pain and you brought yourself into harmony, which caused them to be held back. They're an empty cup. So yeah, you've quieted the anxiety monster and you have alchemized your pain, or maybe you're in the process of it. You're very harmonious within your system, even though, you know, it's not silent. It's not a silent process when you transmute a lot of this mental chaotic energy that some of these people put into the mind. So now they're challenged because you quieted your anxiety monster and you alchemized your pain and brought yourself into harmony. Their cup is empty. They're being held back. They're suffering some kind of imprisonment or restriction, they don't have any hope here. They weren't telling the truth. They were lying on you. And they're challenged by your new beginning. Bury your dead. The beginning is bury your dead. Let's get this out. What does that say? Number 42, bury your dead. You're letting go. This is a new beginning, and you're letting go. You're not hanging on to what's no longer vital. When a relationship ends or a dream dies, there must be grief before closure. Otherwise, you cling to what no longer has life force. Your own attachment becomes a burden, draining you of your vital energy and life blood. Yeah, whatever helps you separate from the ending and turn toward your new beginning is what you need right now. So what was, and this new beginning is coming up now. Why? Because you are you have internal harmony, you've alchemized your pain, and you've quieted the anxiety monster. You're not in anxiety. So they were trying to get away with something fraudulent, some trickery. And now they're in regret. They wish it had never happened. You were just another notch in the headboard, or maybe that's how they saw people. You have divine support, and you are here in wholeness. In wholeness, you have quieted the anxiety monster. You have alchemized your pain. You're harmonious in the inside. You're releasing the dead. You're letting the past go, and you have a new beginning here with divine support, and you are whole. It's like there's no more fragmentation. And we have here beware the happy toxins. Beware the happy toxins. Sorry guys, I worked real hard today and yesterday. Okay, beware happy toxins. It's better to say no to the happy toxins and cleave to your current commitments. Enjoy the happy right now, but investigate it closely. So you've got divine support, you're in a state of wholeness, but you're still investigating. You know, there's prying eyes everywhere. And so, you know, we got toxic people that are dressing themselves up as though they're sweet and kind. But look at that. There's a skull. There's a skull on that thing there. Bury your dead. So you've got a bunch of people that could be, you got somebody who could be the happy toxins, the ones that come forward and present themselves as the sweet treat, and yet they are the most toxic of all. And you could have divine support in this, keeping that stuff from you. So we've got the Empress here in her destiny. Folks are having anxiety over her acceptance. She is guarding the nesting ground. So she could be guarding, she might have property, you know, she might have a territory, and she's guarding the ground that the children will be born on. This is acceptance. She's been accepted into some, she was chosen for a specific role. And you got these old people that are guilty of using love as an escape, and causing damage for Two of Cups unions. I mean, it was all for money for them. A big fat lie, cheating and stealing, trying to get a profit on a contract that was supposed to be for love. And they really hurt people hard. Bad. Keep to the forest of contemplation as your intentions and this new life grow strong and vital. Stay close to the nest. So this is an invitation to step back and consider how you are sharing. Yeah, so we've got folks here that are guilty of gaining a marriage contract and then causing damage to that. They were using love as an emotional escape, calling it a spiritual practice, or touting themselves as having a spiritual practice because they got involved with somebody who did and then they stole their gifts or whatever. Stole the identity. There's nothing spiritual about these people. If there was anything spiritual about them, they would have honored love. But they didn't. They caused it pain and damage. Mind that monkey. Be aware, the shame creature. So they might be having shame regarding using love as a spiritual, as an escape route, and they did it, and they called themselves spiritual. Like this is their regular practice. They worked. What they do? They did something with the spirit of their contracted agreement. Brutalizers of love. Mind that monkey. So there's a monkey mind going on here. Somebody's feeling deep shame. They're a fraud. They're being accused of being a fraud and an imposter. And beware the shame creature. Yeah. They're being consumed by shame. Their hidden shame is growing. Justice is here, the law of cause and effect for liars, guilty, lying and cheating. And there's an understanding here of what they were doing to people, causing pain, causing anxiety, trying to steal your new beginning. They're here dressing up as a happy little toxin. Oh, I'm the fruit you seek. But they are toxic. They're trying to get divine support. They're trying to horn in on you. They want you're just another notch in the headboard, though. They're a happy little toxin. Want to come in and attach themselves to somebody with divine support. Remember who you are. There's an understanding of what these people were doing, lying and cheating on you. This says, remember who you are. You have an understanding here of the lies. But you are not your circumstances. You are not your crisis, your pain, your shame, or diminishment. Anxiety and trauma were lying to you, and you knew it right here. Anxiety and pain. You brought harmony to that, and therefore these people's cup remains empty. You remember the truth in your core. You are starlight and moon pearl. You're remembering who you were before the world told you who you should be. And you are allowing yourself to take up all the space you need to express your particular genius, letting yourself love who and what you love, unabashedly. You're carrying the song of the sky and the sea along the chambers of your heart, awakening to your true memory. So you're remembering who you are and you're gaining understanding. You're awakening to the true memory. These people are guilty of lying and cheating, and it could be that because you're still living and you alchemized your pain and quieted the anxiety monster, these people, they failed. But they're here dressing up as happy little toxins, and the divine sees it. And they're getting kicked out of the opportunity to have any more contracted unions. They're in disagreement. What they built on other people's sorrow is crumbling. And that means there's promise for the future. Because they were getting into contracts and then doing very bad things with the people that loved them. Animals, these ones are. They're no better than animals. But animals are even kinder, even to their victims, than these people are. They're supposed to love these people, but they don't. They hurt them bad, caused a whole lot of damage. And now we've got navigate with flow. So navigate with flow, you've got a promise for the future. You're navigating with flow. Whatever these ones built on other people's suffering is crumbling. They don't have any support. So this kind of speaks of the parasympathetic nervous system. So you're letting the divine lead you. You're listening to your inner voice, your intuition, the Hierophant, and their communication. He's removing gossipers who told lies, who were just gossip, spreading rumors. And they're going far, far away at a distance. And there's empowerment here. And a quest into the subconscious. So that means you're empowered to do a quest into the subconscious. Or maybe the Hierophant is empowered to do a quest into the subconscious of these gossipers and liars. Or maybe people are gossiping because the Hierophant can see into the subconscious and the consciousness of others. Trauma is real. Your entanglement with intense emotions and reactions right now may very well be triggered by something that has deep roots in the subconscious. If you find yourself with persistent triggers that make you feel not enough, too much, overwhelmed, afraid, or chronically separated from your own sense of love and belonging, the question isn't, what's wrong with me? The right question is, what happened to me? Your subconscious has many of the answers to situations that plague and mystify you. So quest down into that sacred space of the subconscious to explore the truths waiting there. You are now being empowered to heal your inner triggers. These people that were gossiping about you and telling lies, they're being moved away. So now you have an opportunity to heal. King of Wands is here, overcoming challenges. He's very, he's doing some things, man. He's looking at the big picture, and there's unfinished business. There's things to resolve. Things he no longer needs are falling away to make room for the love that he deserves. He's got a lot of courage and a childlike expression, and he honors the body as his friend. So it's like honoring the body as your friend. You don't want to traumatize your body or your mind when you got all these people out here willing to do it for you. Don't be your own worst enemy. But the problem with that is that they've used witchcraft to mind F people, and sometimes you think it's your own thoughts when it's not. So you got to honor your body as a friend. Your body is a sacred companion. One entity that will never leave you during your journey as a human creature. Always works on your behalf to restore, heal, and create the balance that allows you to fully participate in this life. Kind enough to let you know when things aren't working, where you need help, relief, or assistance. And that is kind of like that monkey mind, that I was talking about. So this is the thing, the mind lets you know, and the body lets you know when things aren't working, where you need help, relief, or assistance. So that kind of loyalty deserves devotion, not diminishment. A lot of people put themselves down. They use a lot of negative self-talk, and that's not good. That's trickery is what that is, coming from an outside source. Trim down the thoughts of too much and not enough. Joy becomes permission for other folks to feel the same way about their own unique shape, their own unique perspectives. So there's a moving forward. You've fixed a connection. Your heart is hurt. But you're letting someone in and love again. You've got a spiritual quest. These ones, they were using love. They're guilty of using love as an emotional escape or as an escape. They've been hurting a lot of people that they have contracted with. And it could very well be that your spiritual practice is being aware of the shame creature and minding the monkey mind. I mean, you may have done all of this work and people are still accusing you of not being who and what you are. They want to say that you have a monkey mind. And this is, like I said, it's the processing. When there's a problem, so when something's going on, the mind will go with it. It'll spin with it until there's a solution. And that's just the way it works for the organic humans, and these other entities who aren't necessarily human, they don't think the same. So they don't understand it and they think it's ridiculous or whatever. They don't like to hear you think. But yeah, so you're going on a spiritual quest, and this says tend to your partnerships. So you're letting someone in to love again. You're going on a spiritual quest and tending to your partnerships. That's number 43. Nurturing a primary partnership you have with your own soul, or perhaps a romance or a friendship. Give back to the resources that have provided for you. Perhaps you're being called to receive instead of continuously giving. You need not earn your belonging. Take stock of where you are woven into healthy partnership and where you are not. This is a time for balanced reciprocity. So this relationship, or this moving forward into this connection here, where you've both been hurt before, it's hard for you to trust. You're going to let somebody in and love again, and you are tending to this partnership. It's a spiritual quest. You're bravely moving forward into this, and yet you're still protecting your boundaries. And it looks like you're going to be able to embrace effortlessness, like it'll be easy. And then we've got remember the bones. Remember the bones. Back to the basics. Remembering or looking at in hindsight what went wrong. Don't waste a single moment on regret or shame. This only slows the regeneration down. Revise your vision, rebuild with confidence, because this time you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Okay. Do we want to pull one of these two? No. I think I'm just going to leave it where it's at. I hope that this brings clarity to something you already intuitively knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.